Welcome to East Coast Averages, the podcast that brings you stories from everyday people from all around the world. Recorded on the east coast of Australia, I'm your host Nick, and each week we'll sit down with average people who have unique stories to tell. Let's peek over the back fence and see what's happening in other people's lives. I never know what I'm going to discover until I sit down and start chatting to them. And we have a young lady on today named Elisa. How you going, Elisa?
Good, Nick. How are you?
What's your story, mate?
My story?
I should say I'm good first. But I actually just spent 20 minutes talking to Elisa, so it sort of feels like we got all that how you going stuff out of the way. So what's your story? Come on, you got to talk.
I don't know.
Where were you born?
So I was born in Sweden in a city called Malmo. Mum and Dad happened to be in Sweden at the time working.
Well, there you go. You learn something every day. I thought you were going to come and say Adelaide, but fucking Sweden it is.
No, Sweden. So I was only there for 6 months, and then another work opportunity came back up in Adelaide where Mum and Dad had met and grown up. And, they moved back and had my brother a couple of years later. So we both grew up in Adelaide, did all of our schooling, first round of university there as well.
Yep.
And then both of us ended up in Sydney moving, my brother in architecture.
Did your parents spend much time overseas before they moved back to Adelaide? Like did they decide to go back because they started to have a family, thought let's go back to Australia, you think?
Yeah. That was definitely part of it. I think they'd been away for 2 years anyway before
doing all the good stuff.
Doing all the good stuff. So you
came along then to go and live in Adelaide?
Yeah.
Instead of Sweden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, different at the time in Sweden. I've been back since, and from what they described to when I went back, it's definitely come much more of a metropolitan kind of space. Yeah.
Funny, I put this show out through a podcast platform, and it tells you where people listen. And I have one listener. Well, I have someone listening in Adelaide. I don't know
just the one.
I don't know anyone in Adelaide, and every week I get an extra listen every time an episode comes out. So if you're that mystery internet random living in Adelaide, listen to my show. Well, send me an email and come on the show. But don't get scared and stop listening, because I look at it and I think, here's Adelaide, and the show comes out, and then usually by Monday or Tuesday it goes plink, goes one extra view.
One's in Adelaide.
So I've got someone listening in Adelaide.
Well, I'm sure there will be some interested family as well.
So my Adelaide...
So your Adelaide numbers might go up.
They'll go up. Oh, that's good. That's cool. So I keep looking at that and thinking, oh, yeah, the Adelaide person's listened again. Happy days. So Adelaide, been there twice, really like the place.
It's really nice. Yeah, I like going home.
To all the international viewers, Adelaide is, how would you describe it, down the bottom of Australia, basically.
Yeah.
The only thing I found about Adelaide, it was fucking hot and there was no wind in the afternoon.
Oh, well, that's better than fucking hot and the north wind in the afternoon. So maybe go lucky.
Yeah, because normally the wind comes straight down. Because if you look
desert,
at it, if everyone out there looks at the map of Australia, we could look at it over there. The middle of Australia is hot. Adelaide's down the bottom of it, and you often would get north winds and just fucking wreak havoc for days and days.
Weeks, yeah. Our air conditioning broke one of the heat waves, and I don't think it got below 35.
Inside your house?
Well, no, it was hotter inside the house, yeah. 35 overnight for like 2 weeks at a time. That was, of course, the week that the air conditioner broke, and it was misery.
So if you want to have a decent job, you reckon a fridgie in Adelaide might be the go?
I reckon. Yeah, you definitely have heaps of business.
Yes, and what I found about Adelaide is that when you look at the city, you can actually see the whole city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can see flat, there's a city, then country.
Yeah. It's really good because if you got the hills on your left and the ocean on your right, you're looking south and vice versa for north.
Yep.
I get so disoriented in Sydney especially because you'll take like 22 right turns and you'll still end up where you're going, but you do that in Adelaide, it's built on a grid, so you just be going round in circles. And
you got weird telegraph poles. Those cement things are weird.
Oh, with the concrete up the middle, yeah.
They're weird.
Huh.
I reckon. Okay. That's the thing I noticed anyway. And you just park on the fucking left-hand side and you sort of zip around anyway. It's a bit...
Yeah, there's no reverse 45-degree parking.
Yeah, it's all a bit odd. So anyway, so you grew up in Adelaide.
Yep.
And did you like school? Did you go to public school, private school?
Public.
Public school?
Yeah, yep. Ended up doing the first year of what they call the International Baccalaureate, which is global. What's the word I'm looking for? Curriculum. That's it. But I ended up flunking out on the maths part of it.
What year was that?
That was year 11.
Now let's go back further than that.
Further?
Yeah, primary school. How
Primary
was
school?
little Elisa in primary school?
Oh, well, she wore glasses and had a bung left eye that I had to wear a
Fucking
patch on.
Bung left eye.
Yeah, I had to
So
wear
you're
a
a
patch.
pirate.
Yeah, but it wasn't cool when you were 5.
No,
It was-
and kids are assholes,
Yeah, yeah,
no offense,
yeah.
kids, but when you're 5 years old, you can be real little pricks.
Yes.
And you've got no filter and you just say what you think.
Yeah.
And if someone's different,
Yeah.
it can get a little bit tough. So it was a bit shit.
Yeah, a little bit shit.
Can I ask why you had to wear a patch? Did you have something wrong?
Oh, I don't know
to get
what.
the light out of it or something? Or
No, it was actually to strengthen my left eye. So the patch was on my good eye. So I
Oh,
had
so,
to use
yeah.
my bad eye.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm eternally grateful to my parents for
Yep.
making me go
it-
through that because I'm sure it would have been a shit time.
Of course,
for
you would
them
have.
as well.
Yeah, you would have had one eye that sort of looked separately, like a different way.
No, it looked the same way.
It's just the vision.
Just the vision, yeah.
Yep.
I need to strengthen that. But yeah, without that, I probably wouldn't have as
Yeah.
good vision in my left eye as I do.
Yep. Can you see much without your glasses on? No. Yeah, as I've gotten older, now I've got to wear glasses to see close up. It's so frustrating. I don't know, but it's so frustrating having to put glasses on, take them off, put them on, take them off. Are your glasses like
Oh, they go on
close,
at the
far?
start of the day.
Yep.
Yeah. And then they don't come off until
Yeah.
bedtime. So
Yep.
yeah.
So you had a bit of a tough one, the kids being mean to you.
Yeah, yep. I mean, other early childhood memories were pretty good, I suppose, I guess.
What did you do in Adelaide as young kids, like on weekends? And that?
Well, where I grew up was really, really, really lucky. Mum and Dad's place is only a 20-minute walk from one of the conservation parks there, and Dad and I used to go walking all the time. We'd just take off and disappear.
Yep.
So lots of childhood memories exploring creeks and climbing
Yes, that's where
hills
you got
and
your
throwing rocks.
love of the bushwalk and
Yeah,
and stuff.
probably
Yeah.
probably was quite formative.
Yeah, cool. So primary school into high school, your eyesight was better.
Yeah,
Didn't really get
still-
as teased as much in high school for
not
glasses.
for
I
that.
don't recall people getting teased for glasses wearing glasses.
No, there was just a lot of other stuff going on. I never really have had like a strong friendship group per se that's cohesive. I have some wonderful individual friends that
Yep.
all get along if they all get together, but it's never been sort of like a 5 or 6 of us group where we kind of all hung out all the time. So I think seeing a lot of those other groups at school, I did end up feeling a little bit left out of that.
Yep.
And definitely kind of on the outer. But yeah, I think it's just who I am. Yeah, there's not really.
You turned out all right. I've known you for a little while, and I think you're all right.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, again, still even as an adult, I've got a lot of really close individual
yep.
friends, but
Yep.
not a specific group, and that's just who I am.
Yeah,
It is,
that's
so-
fair, and that's probably a good thing because then you're not. I know you're sort of all around the place.
Yeah, definitely. And I think as an adult, you can just go, oh, well, that's the way it is. But as a teenager, when all you want to do is fit in,
Yeah, I
it
know.
can be a little harder to go.
It's a
stuff
fucking
it.
it's a wild ride, teenage years, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's yeah. I didn't have particularly difficult teenage years because I didn't have I had like 3 or 4 friends that I hung around, but I wasn't part of the jocks. I wasn't smart. I was just we were just the average. We were just the fucking East Coast
Just me.
average, mate.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I didn't have, and I only went to high school. I left in year 10. So
Yeah. I don't know. Parents forced me to stay.
you wanted to leave at year 10?
Yeah. I like the education aspect of it. I've always enjoyed learning.
Yep.
But definitely I think the social side of it was a big detractor. And I know that for a few years I really did struggle with motivation, wanting to actually go to school unless favourite subject was on during the day, and then it was a little bit easier.
Yeah.
but
What was your favourite subject?
languages?
Language. Yeah, that's right. Because you speak another language?
Oh, not well.
Not
but
well.
yeah.
It's Spanish, isn't it?
Spanish.
Yeah, that's right. Well, give us a bit.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Oh, come on. That's the easiest Spanish you're ever going to say.
Yeah, but so you understand it. Honestly, my spoken Spanish at the moment's absolutely woeful. If you present me a text, I can understand it. That's
Yep.
not a problem.
So you can read it?
Yeah, and
okay.
listening to it is not a problem, but it's just the recall. And the last time that I actually spoke with any decent fluency was 2012 when I was traveling in South America. So
But given that you can read it and you used to speak it,
Yep.
if you went and hung around Spanish people,
oh yeah, it would
a
come
week,
back
2
straight
weeks,
away.
you'd be back.
Yeah, I'd say a couple of months. I think there's
Couple of months,
definitely
yeah.
some grammar that I would struggle with.
Yeah,
And a
yeah.
bit of vocabulary where you go, oh, damn, I know the word, but
Yep.
It's just not coming.
So
back to me.
language, so high school language was your favourite subject.
Yeah.
Did you pick Spanish for any particular reason, or it was just what they?
So I actually did German and Indonesian when I was at high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was getting to the overachieving part, Elisa. We're not quite there yet.
So, yeah, I actually ended up doing.
Don't get embarrassed, all right? You're allowed to be an overachieving as well. You're going a little bit red there.
I wouldn't say that I'm an overachiever, but anyway. Yeah, German and Indonesian, they had to actually give me a special timetable to facilitate doing both.
Yep.
And so I had a before school class and an after school class
Yep.
as
And
well.
can you speak German and Indonesian still? Or you?
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no. I graduated high school in 2006.
Yeah, it was a while ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't ask you how old you were at the start of the show.
I turned 35 in a couple of weeks.
35 in a couple of weeks. Jeez.
Yeah.
And when you walked in, you said, I've known you since 2018. I can't fucking believe 6 years, man, has just fucking...
Yeah.
Like, how quick is the world going past?
Yep.
It's fucking frightening.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It speeds up every year, I think.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Apparently, there's some scientific method to it.
I think you just fit
as
your
you get
life with
older, because
stuff.
when you get older, your years seem a bit shorter.
Yeah.
So I think there's actually a scientific thing behind it. So high school sucked. Did you have a boyfriend in high school or anything like that?
Oh, no.
No?
No, late bloomer here.
Late. A late bloomer. So you finished high school, went to uni.
Yeah.
You've got 3 degrees, haven't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Maybe I should just come out and say, how many degrees do you have, Elisa?
So I have a Bachelor of International Studies and Spanish Translation, but that, granted, was from 2011, so I don't really remember a whole heap of that. And then am I allowed to say it?
You can say whatever you want to say.
I have a Bachelor of Paramedicine.
Oh, paramedicine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Shit. I thought you had 3 degrees.
It was a double degree.
Oh, the double. Oh,
International
sorry. I
Studies
did a
and the
double.
Spanish.
Oh, yeah. Hang on. I did a double degree.
Yeah.
So was
Yeah.
that 6 years at uni?
No, 4. It
Did
was
4?
an arts
Yeah.
degree.
Yeah.
A lot of it was waffle, yeah.
Fucking waffle. I did a little bit of teaching at university there for a little while, and I must admit, and look, I'm going to fucking get in trouble for saying this, but I found university, I was really fucking disheartened by it. Just, they weren't interested in teaching people. They just were making money.
Yeah. Yeah,
And it
felt
really,
like that.
when I went there, I had this big expectation that unis was this fucking.
It's just
I just
not.
had this. You know what I mean? I had this
Yeah,
expectation
yeah,
that
yeah.
uni was this like everyone learnt, but it was just a fucking business, hey.
Yep. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
they were putting I won't go into the course. I was doing some lecturing, or where I was, but it just felt like they were putting people through just to make money.
Yeah.
They didn't really put any thought into what they're going to do when they finish that degree.
Oh, totally. Yeah, absolutely. And like I finished my first degree with no real idea of what I wanted to do, absolutely no concept of what a grad program was, what jobs were available to me, and it was just kind of disappointing.
Because that sort of degree normally leads to a political career, doesn't it? Like in that sort of like
and NGO spaces,
and an advisor sort of role
that
within
kind of thing. But
government.
You can't advise without experience, and your average 21-year-old finishing that degree
Doesn't
has
have
no experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in part I probably wasn't open to as many of the opportunities as I could or should have been. But in part also, like you said, it was just the business aspect of it
Yeah.
oh, well, tick, flick, here's your paper.
Tick, flick, here's
off you
your
go, we got our money.
Yeah. But, that gets it open, it does open doors for you, I suppose, eventually. So what was the first job you did out of uni then?
I never actually used that degree. I went travelling in South America. All right. I
You sort of used it. You went to South America, man.
I used the Spanish that I learned to go travelling, and that was cool. I was kind of at a lost end because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just had the idea that being tied to a desk was going to be
Was not for you.
not for me. Hilariously, at the end of 4 years of being tied to a desk studying, came to that realisation, and so I thought I would try some volunteering and went overseas to do it, and ended up assisting as an English teacher in a school in a city called Cordoba in Argentina.
Yep. Do they speak Spanish in Argentina?
They do, but it's
okay.
a very different.
It's a different. It's an
Spanish.
Argentinian take
Yeah,
on it.
and my lecturer at university always said, like, don't go there. They don't speak good Spanish. And then I went there and I ended up not speaking good Spanish. So.
But that's the problem with fucking university lecturers. Now, I'm going to Yeah, that's the fucking problem. They say, "Oh, don't go over there. They don't speak fucking proper fucking Spanish."
No.
You know what? Go out and fucking live your life, Mister Fucking Lecturer, and get a fucking life and go over there and live a bit.
Not so much about the university aspect of it. More so, it's the like, oh, they're the deep south. We don't talk to them kind of aspect of it.
Yeah.
If you listen to the accents as you travel through countries that speak Spanish, they predominantly get thicker and lazier the more deep south you travel. So I think it was more just the next door neighbours, we don't talk to them kind
we're
of
sort
thing.
we're sort of lazy English speakers, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Actually, when I was in Hawaii, I fucking went into this. What happened? I went into this shop and I fucking asked for something, and she just looked at me and I went, because I talk pretty quick. I said, I was asking for something, and she just fucking looked at me and said, "What?" So I said it again. She said, "What?" So I slowed it right down. She went, "Oh, okay, no worries, mate." Yeah. And I went on this tour with a private tour guide, and he said, I don't know why I come up with this, but he says to me, I said, "What? So I just sound like every other Australian that comes along?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "No, I'm not sure what I wanted to sound like, but," and he said, "Yeah." He said, "You're just like any other Australian." Yeah. So anyway, a little bit. Hang on, anyway, so let's go back to you went to Argentina.
Yep.
When you were doing the uni course, what was your big plan for when you finished uni? Did you think?
No.
You didn't have any plan?
No plan, no thought. Just I like languages. I want to travel. So instead of travelling, I went and got a HEX debt. Which in hindsight
have you paid it off yet?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
HEX free.
Yeah.
But yeah, in hindsight doesn't seem like
if I lined up 20 people that I know and who would have paid their HEX debt off early, I'd be looking straight at you, Elisa, and going, "I bet you paid your HEX debt off before those 3 people there."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
So you go to Argentina. So you said in high school you were a little bit, bit of the, I don't know, the academic type in high school.
That's fair, yeah.
That's a big leap to finish uni, then go overseas. Because if you're the academic sort of introverted type, did it take much to say, "Fuck it, I'm getting on the plane and I'm going"?
Funnily enough, no. It was just something that I'd wanted to do, and I'm still in awe of the fact that I was able to just book a ticket and go fuck
and do it, because
plane.
that is what you would not expect you to do, given your personality and how you remember growing up.
Yeah, totally. And impulsive decisions. I need time to adjust, to change.
Yep.
To stew on it and think about all of the ifs and buts, and it drives me up the wall too.
Well, my lovely wife, Kez, she won't like me saying this, but if we move house, it takes her a good 3 months. She goes a little bit funny for 3 months until she gets, like, if there's a big change in anything we do, like career, where we live, the way we earn money, that she gets a little bit funny for about 3 months.
But you got to have time for the dust to settle.
But she comes good after a couple of months, and you can see it, because I've known her for so long.
Yeah.
You can see leading into the change.
Yeah.
And then coming out of it, and there's probably a 3 to 4 month transition.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
There.
Yeah, I would be exactly the same.
So you're the same?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
But then once you get over that transition, that's it.
Oh, then it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Till the next thing.
Yeah. So how long were you in Argentina for?
I was in Argentina for 4 months travelling.
Yep.
So I was based in the one spot and then did lots of trips on the weekend. Ended up over in Peru and Chile as well.
Yep.
Which was really cool.
Peru. Where's that near?
Peru.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really bad at it. Is Peru a dangerous country?
Oh, it wasn't when I was there.
Because South America is like, I don't know, I hear South America and think, fuck, drug lords and
oh, yeah, but you
kingpins
forget that there's millions of normal people who are just living their lives. Definitely there were some travellers that we met from Colombia who'd come down through there and said, like, oh, yeah, there's just a regular night they get locked in the club because there was gunfighting in the street, and to keep them all safe they'd just lock the doors and wouldn't let them out until – so she was like, oh, no, it was really safe. They kept us safe. And I think, okay, maybe my definition of safe is probably a little different to that.
Yeah.
But no, Peru, I had a really good time. I actually met Mum there.
Oh, your mum came over?
Yeah. The only time I've ever travelled on a tour, and it was fabulous. So we ended up going up to Machu Picchu and doing the tourist trail.
Yeah, with 10 million other people.
It's really well set up.
What year was that? That was a while ago. Was it that busy then as it is now?
2012. I haven't been back, so I wouldn't know. I presume that it's probably still pretty busy.
It's one of those places that a lot of people it's on their bucket list to go and
totally, and it's totally worth it. Yeah, absolutely go. If you are thinking of going, go. It will take your breath away.
Yeah.
It was literally like stepping into a National Geographic poster, like had to just pinch myself to believe it was real, like I'm actually here.
Yeah, Australia doesn't have a lot of that sort of stuff, does it? Like
not on the scale, no.
No.
I
But
think,
of course, our Indigenous population had a different way of living. I suppose they were more nomadic, so they didn't build those big things over the last 60,000 years and that.
Yeah, definitely in that aspect, yes. But in terms of just the geography, our tallest mountain's, 2,800?
Yeah.
It's really not that exciting when you travel over there. The foothills get up to 4,000 metres.
Yeah.
So everything I saw was, wow, a mountain.
That's
and
huge.
they go, oh, no, that's the tiny one. You think,
that's the little mountain. Look over there.
Oh, right, yeah. So
I found that actually, we just went on, like I said, I went to Hawaii, went on a cruise, and we went to Tahiti. And I always wanted to go to Tahiti ever since, I don't know if you remember the ad for the soap Imperial Leather, and the little kid you're probably a bit young, comes down the water slide in a 747. Dude picks up the phone and says, Tahiti, Simon, and the plane banks away.
Yeah, I haven't
and off so I've wanted to go to Tahiti, and it was the countryside was amazing, just like the big volcanic, I don't know what you call them, but yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I can only imagine. But yeah, no, the Andes were pretty.
Is that where you because I know you're a bit of a rock climber.
Yeah.
We're going to get back to that. Sure. Was it that before or after you became a rock climber you went over there? Like, is that where you got your?
No, not initially. No. No, I'd sort of climbed indoors a little bit before I went over, and was definitely not experienced enough to go out
and climb the big
Andes,
ones. Yep.
Yeah, but it was fine. I mean, we did lots of hiking instead, and there's lots of different ways that you can take in the natural beauty without having to climb everything.
Did you make any contacts and friends that you still speak to now?
No one that I still speak to. Oh, that's a lie. I had a roomie from Norway, and we have since lost contact. She went back, ended up getting married, having a couple of kids, which was like her dream. And the last we spoke, she was doing really well and was really happy with her teaching job. But there is another guy, Daniel, who became close friends with, and we're still in sporadic contact.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes I'll write back in Spanish, but he kind of laughs at me now, and he's like, don't hurt yourself. So
yeah. How do you write back in Spanish? You change your phone settings?
Yeah, you change keyboard.
Yeah. Because I always find that really weird. You see stuff on Facebook that have been written by other countries and says see translation.
Yeah.
It's weird to see other, like you stand behind like a a Chinese person in a lift and you see him sending a text message and you think, fuck, that's in Chinese. And you think, what else would it be in, you fucking idiot? You know what I mean? They're Chinese.
They don't type it in English.
Like they're not typing fucking Spanish. You know what I mean? It's just weird. It's funny to see that when you don't have any other sort of languages.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your mum went over to visit you.
Yep.
Because you seem like you have a pretty good relationship. Your family seem pretty close.
Yeah. Great relationship with
your mum and dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to talk about your mum and dad, what they do?
Yeah, I can.
What's your mum do?
Yeah.
What did your mum do?
So mum's early childhood psychologist and dad is an engineer.
So now that's the thing I wanted to ask you about because I know what your mum did. What was it like growing up with a childhood psychologist?
Fine. I mean,
you didn't come home and fucking have the couch say, have a seat here over the now.
No, gosh, no. A lot of what mum did was all of the screening for autism and ADHD and behavioural problems and just helping out kids in that regard. It wasn't so much
psychotherapy
the
sort of
deeper
stuff.
Psychology, yeah. But she was always a really strong proponent of the CBT, the cognitive behavioural therapy, to just try and get us to train our thoughts to be more positive. And I wish I'd paid more attention to it as a kid. I'm sorry, Mum.
Did you sometimes crack the shits? Jesus, Mum,
all
I'm not
the
your
time.
patient.
But then I remember having a great time because she'd come home with these screening tests and she's, do you want to help me with one of these? And so we'd do the screening test.
And she'd look at you and think,
No. I think compared to the children that she saw, she didn't see any issue.
Any issues with her children? Yep. Yeah. And you've got one brother?
Yeah, I got one brother. Yeah, he's 2.5 years younger.
Yeah, and you get along with him?
Yeah. Better, much better as an adult than I think we did as teenagers. I was annoying, so sorry. Sorry.
Why were you annoying, Elisa?
Just loud, and if it wasn't done my way, then, that was a problem and I'd have an opinion on it. Yeah.
Well, do you reckon there was a point in the relationship with your brother where you thought that it changed, where you sort of went home and thought, yeah, he's actually not that bad about a dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I never thought negatively of him. I think everyone just like, oh,
Yeah, that's what my daughter's saying at the moment.
Typical
Yeah,
of growing up.
Yeah. So let's go fast forward to, so you get along with your parents. They're still in Adelaide, I assume. So like I said, my one Adelaide viewer, listener will maybe go up a couple.
Yep.
And then your mum might say, fuck, that bloke's had some childhood. Never listen to the way he talks, mate.
Mum's retired. So.
She's retired?
Yeah.
And what's she doing in her retirement?
Travelling with Dad. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool.
So because my brother lives in Sydney, they do a lot of travel.
Up and down
and across, and he's got children of his own, so he's got the grandkids, which is a massive draw card apparently. So you want to go see the grandkids, and no, you've got to stop past and see me while you're coming over as well.
No, we're not. We're stopping in to use the toilet.
They enjoy coming up and spending time.
Yeah. And you've got cousins and stuff back in Adelaide. Have you got extended family back in Adelaide?
Yeah, the rest of my extended family's there, with the exception of a cousin who's just moved to Melbourne.
Yeah. Like I said before, man, I like Adelaide. I think I could live in Adelaide. I think look, my dad grew up in Tasmania. He always used to say if you're going to live in Tasmania, you've got to have enough money in the bank that if your parents rang now and said, hey, Lisa, Dad's busted his leg, I need a hand.
You've
got to be able to go to the airport and say, next plane to Adelaide. If they say $2,000, you go, fucking boom.
Yep.
$2,000, I'm gone.
Yeah. And where I'm living at the moment's got a really good airport, so you can not fly direct.
Yeah, but fly back to Sydney.
It's really easy to get to Sydney and then onwards to Adelaide.
Yeah, that's the only issue with moving, I guess, interstate.
Yeah, Tasmania. A little bit, but I mean, it's life and it's where opportunities take you.
Yeah, and it's actually not that far to drive down. Like you're looking at, 12 hours?
Yeah, it's a solid day.
You could do it. You probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
We wouldn't recommend driving for 12 hours with all this stop, revive, survive stuff, but you could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I know when they drive up, they normally stop sort of 3 hours away, so that the first day is a slog and then the second day is pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Get in time for lunch, go to a winery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chill out for the rest of the day.
So you came back you just travelled through Peru and South America. Did you do any other travels around the world?
I went back to Sweden when I finished
you said that,
high school. Yeah, and I did an exchange there with a family in Malmo who Mum and Dad knew from way back when they were living and working there.
Yep.
So at the time they had two kids who were 6 and 9. So I spent the summer living with them and just doing what they did.
What was it like, the difference between Sweden and summer in Adelaide and summer in Sweden?
I think it felt a little hotter the 3 weeks that were actually warm.
The 3 weeks it was warm in Sweden.
It got over 30 for a couple of
5
weeks.
minutes.
Down south was a lot warmer than up north, obviously. And because they've got an ozone layer, I didn't get a sunburnt, so that was nice. But where I was, they had lots of beaches and a really, really good cycling culture. And so I didn't miss not having a car because you just ride everywhere and public transport was awesome.
Sweden and beaches you just don't think of Sweden and beaches, eh?
Yeah, it's not like Whitsundays coast kind of style, but sand on the beach, jetties, kiosks open. Yeah, it was really, really, really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because everything's double glazed and insulated, it just got hot inside and then stayed hot.
Stayed hot.
But it's only 3 weeks of the year, so it's tolerable. Going into winter, I think the biggest lesson I learned, you'd look outside and see the sun shining and think, it's going to be a warm day, and you'll step out and it's 5 degrees. Yeah.
I actually quite like that cold weather, eh?
Totally, yeah.
I much prefer it to the heat.
Yes.
Like I said, I was in Hawaii, Tahiti, and it was just a little bit fucking warm for me.
Yep.
Like it was like, give me some fucking air conditioning, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please give me some fucking air conditioning. It's killing me.
There's definitely a reason I elected to move to a cool climate place.
Yeah, I prefer the cool climate.
Yeah.
My wife and son prefer the heat. My daughter and I prefer the cold.
It's not a bad compromise where you are then.
Yeah, it's good. It's good here. It gets a bit hot in summer anyway. And yesterday, I had the air conditioning going in the kitchen and I was fucking sweating. I walked in my fucking bedroom. Kez has got the air conditioner on warm. I'm set on 27. I said, what the fuck's going on in here? She goes, I'm cold. I said, all right, let's compromise. Everyone will turn the air conditioners off and we'll just live with whatever the fucking ambient temperature is.
Yeah.
So that was our compromise yesterday.
I'm with you. Yeah. Yep.
Now I've fucking just lost my train of thought. So you after going, when did you start the rock climbing? Excuse me real quick whilst I drop an ad on you and then we'll be back to the show. Hey, East Coast Average listeners, if you're a cat lover searching for a t-shirt that combines creativity with style, check out graphicoasisco.com. There you'll find unique designs featuring whimsical cats, steampunk themes and inspirational quotes. Each shirt there is made with vibrant colours, sharp lines, and you'll look fantastic while showcasing your personality. So go and visit graphicoasisco.com and use East Coast Averages at checkout to get 15% off your first order. Elevate your wardrobe with graphicoasisco.com. Let your shirt do the talking.
So, that would have been around 2011.
Was that how old were we then?
21?
Because I know you lived at the bottom of a cliff for 6 months, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to get you to talk. And you lived in a tent at the bottom of a cliff for 6 months.
Yeah.
And it's funny how I don't want to but you obviously you're very smart, right? You're very academic. A lot of academic people end up just cruising through, just doing stuff that, like, you know what I mean? And I think that's good because you're obviously very academic and you could have spent your whole life in university, being a lecturer.
There was definitely a point in time where that was kind of looking like the pipeline.
Yeah.
I went back to start a master's in population studies and 6 months in realised that absolutely wasn't for me.
What do population studies look at?
Demographics and lots of population data. So,
and what do you do with that when you finish?
Census and all of that kind of.
So again, government.
Yeah, government.
The government departments,
lots of
policy.
Different policy and planning.
Health policy, where do we put the hospital, all that kind of shit.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
But I just found from even with the guests I've had on the show is that a lot of people, they're really, really smart, but they just go, fuck it, life is better than, you know what I mean?
That's absolutely where I'm at right now, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't have a problem with that, hey, because some people might look at it and think, fuck, you've got 3 degrees. What a waste.
I have a lot of burnout too.
But I don't think it's a waste, hey, because it's all, I don't know, like, and then you decide to fucking live under a cliff for 6 months in a tent. Like the people will look at you and think, what the fuck are you doing? But it's living.
Having a great time.
You know what I mean? Like I don't want to bag, but I don't want to sound like I'm bagging people out. But a lot of, I guess, really, really intelligent people just choose to fucking not go down that path. They choose life, and I'm more of a choose life over work, education. You know what I mean?
It's just nice to turn your brain off for a little bit and just focus on something else. And like the type of climbing that I was doing, there was a lot of learning to be done through that. And I think a lot of climbers will tell you that it's a personal kind of inner journey as well that you're doing at the time too.
I think you're all mad. I've got absolutely no desire to climb, which is good because we're all different.
Something for everybody.
We're all different. So how did you end up? So this is living on a cliff in, where was it?
Mount Arapiles in Victoria.
I thought it was in Victoria. And how did that come about? Like, how did you get into the climbing community and end up living in a tent?
Well, it was a slow progression into it. I actually got chatting to an ex-boyfriend's mate while we were out one night at a gig, and he was just picking up indoor rock climbing and found it awesome and said, you guys have to come along. So that's how that all started. There's a little gym in northeast Adelaide that I ended up going to, ended up escalating into moving closer to. I was there 5-6 days a week.
Yep. So climbing really, so this is indoor climbing. So I guess the outdoor came from your dad going for bushwalks and.
Oh, it's a natural extension. Like I still love being a gym rat, and there's a really nice security to having the rope anchored above you rather than below you.
Yep.
But the outdoor climbing in Adelaide's also really good. There's quite a few areas in the Adelaide Hills and then down south. And so I would go outside quite a lot as well.
So when you went to the gym and did the climbing, you climbed up and then you thought, fuck, this is for me.
Yeah.
This for whatever reason, surfing, golf, football, whatever, for whatever reason, Elisa walked into a gym and did some climbing
just tickles
and went,
something in my brain that feels really good. Yeah.
This is for me, man.
Yeah.
So you spent you were there.
Yeah, hours and hours every night. And then this was around the time that I got a job in the outdoor industry, just in retail, but it was kind of at the time like a goal job for me. And
in outdoor industry, as in selling clothes, equipment?
Talking the walk, basically. The clothes didn't interest me so much, but like all the tents and all the climbing gear,
so you were selling that. People come in and say,
stuff.
this is what I want to do. And you'd say, you need this fucking tent because it does this. And
Yeah. all of that kind of stuff. And then being taken on as kind of a climbing specialist was really cool, and was able to grow their climbing sales quite a lot just by being knowledgeable about the subject.
About climbing?
Yeah.
Did you go and do any courses like on?
No.
So when you started climbing outside, did someone teach you the ropes sort of thing? Like this is the safety stuff we do, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so climbing's got a really strong culture of stewardship and taking newbies under your wing and mentoring them, which is something I've found really nice about it. And I climbed with a number of people who were more than willing to share their knowledge with me about everything.
So you've got the experience now where you would feel comfortable to go to a rock climbing somewhere and set up your ropes and do all the safety stuff you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But you don't actually hold any particular qualification.
No.
Yeah.
No. If you are going to go on and guide and actually take money, then
you've got to have the qualification.
You need to have the qualification. And I looked into it at a point, and I just thought, you know what, too much of this might be a bad thing. I think the choice that I get to go out and enjoy it just as a social activity and on my own time was really good, but I just don't think that it would have been the right decision for me to
do it Monday to Friday.
Friday, and I think it would have just sapped all the joy out. And in a lot of respects, I wasn't confident enough as a climber to do that as well.
Yeah. So you moved to Victoria.
Yeah.
What got you? Did you have some friends that said, let's go and climb this this cliff?
No, again, it was kind of one of those impulse decisions. I started visiting Mount Arapiles with friends from Adelaide, and we just drive across for the weekend or the week or whatever we could get off of work. And that steadily escalated into a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
And then I was over there and just thought, why am I going back? And basically sent my notice in to the employer I had at the time.
Did you get a discount on the tent you lived in before you left?
No, so that job actually came after my long-term stay
your long-term,
there. Yeah, no, this was a different job that I had, again, in retail, and it felt really easy to quit. So I had everything, but that was all pre-employee discount.
Yep.
And you actually don't need much, really.
Well, you need a harness, some safety, bag of chalk.
Yeah. All the gear and everything. Like the initial setup is not cheap, but once you've got it, you just need a bit of food. Like it's not wearing out. You got your tent, your mattress, your pillow and all your climbing gear, and like it's happy life.
Yeah.
Lived off $40 a week. We went bin diving.
Bin diving. That's right. Let's hear about bin diving. When was the first time you went bin diving? Was it your idea? Or your friend said, hey?
Oh, no. It's a cultural thing, and it's a lot to do with unnecessary waste.
Yeah.
And so
it was more of a environmental thing.
And we were cheap as.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a real dirtbag culture of.
Yeah. You didn't want to spend any money.
No. Because we're not working.
So where was your favourite bin to go and dumpster dive in?
There were a couple in Horsham that were really good.
Yep.
Yeah, we'd go across late at night once everyone had closed up
for
the night, and just find stuff.
Fuck, I wouldn't eat that, eh?
I mean, it's a calculated decision. Half of it was still cold when we got it.
Yeah. So cold meats and...
Yeah, and you cook it up straight away.
Yeah, so you would go out shopping for your dinner that night in the bin when they closed down?
Yeah. Midnight snack.
And what sort of stuff were you getting out of the bins?
Heaps. You don't get your selection, but sometimes it was all yogurt. Sometimes there were a few packs of sausages. Sometimes there was some bread. Sometimes it was energy drink. Sometimes it was chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was? So how many of us would go dumpster diving?
Oh, just whatever fit in the car.
Okay. Fit in the car. So what was your best find in a dump? Did you go to the dump thinking, fuck, I hope I get some of this tonight?
Yeah, I think it was a merino thermal.
Fuck, it's not even food. It was one clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, well, my old one was wearing out, so it was good timing.
So how did that get thrown in the bin?
I don't know.
Was there a fight? Was there a scrap between the people in the car?
I have no idea.
So you just were going through the bin, you thought, fuck, someone's thrown their thermal out.
Yeah, brand new tag on it.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you'd find like chicken breast and stuff?
Oh, no.
You wouldn't eat, you'd steer clear of chicken?
No, if you found it, you'd eat it. It just sells. So there were...
it was stuff that didn't sell, yeah.
Yeah, it's a kind of dodgy.
Like vegetarian sausages or...
They actually sell pretty well.
Not meat.
No, just, whatever random kind of marinated thing that was not picked up by the end of the day, then it was good enough for us.
So you'd go home, cook it, eat it. So you're living on $40 a day. A week, sorry, fucking $40 a week. No income.
No income.
Were you living in a caravan park with showers or anything, or just a pit toilet?
Just a pit toilet. Oh no, this one had a flushing toilet.
Where would you shower?
Well,
you didn't, did you?
Horsham swimming pool.
Oh, fuck.
You didn't notice because you were all outside. It was only when you piled in the car that it was like, put down the window.
Let's go via the swimming pool, guys.
Stinks. Yeah. Oh, they hated us. We'd come in. Like, we pay for a shower and then go for a swim.
Yeah.
So it was a nice rest day activity. Yep. But, yeah, it was, you grubs better get through the shower real quick. Stop ruining our business.
And was there, were you sitting around smoking cones together? Like, was there a bit of cone smoking going on, like hippie lifestyle?
Absolutely.
Mushroom? Any particular wild mushrooms been eaten?
I believe so. I did not partake.
You didn't partake in the wild mushrooms?
No.
Yeah. Look, I probably wouldn't be partaking in the wild mushrooms either.
Yeah.
But a little bit of the devil's lettuce was being smoked around the campfire.
There was, yeah.
Were they good times? Like,
yeah. I really, really look back on them with a lot of nostalgia. It's just one of those things that I don't think you'd ever be able to recreate ever again, but that feeling.
Yeah, because if you went out and planned to live like that, it probably wouldn't been as good as it. So it just sort of like morphed into that. Like you started to camp and other people came along, and then next thing you know, you're dumpster diving.
Yeah.
You're just living the hippie lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so if you actually said, hey guys, let's go and live this lifestyle, it probably wouldn't have worked out. So it's sort of, these sort of things just sort of come about and that makes them a little bit better.
Yeah. End up being a bit too contrived, I think, if you said you were just going to go down and do that.
And go and do it, yeah. What did your mum and dad say when you're doing this?
I think there was a little bit of worry because at this point I had my double degree, and I think there was a little bit of concern, one for my safety, but also a little bit of, oh my gosh, is she actually going to do anything meaningful with her life?
Did your mum start going for all those tests that you did when you were 5 and 6? Did I fucking miss something? Did I miss something?
I don't know. But the good thing about it was that I met someone in the career that I'm in now who talked to me about it and kind of put the idea in my mind. And so it actually was really productive because I went off and did something with my life after.
What was that? Was there? Do you remember, like, you're living in the tent, you dumpster, all that kind of stuff? Was there a particular time when you wake up one morning and thought, okay, it's time to, I've done this, it's time to move on?
Yeah.
Do you remember making that decision?
It rained sideways for 5 days and I just thought I could be in a house.
And that was the thing that got you?
That was the thing that got me, Yeah,
because when I left the Navy, I wake up one morning and just knew I was leaving the Navy, and there was no lead up to it. And I remember saying to Kez, I'm going to put my discharge in today. And she fucking nearly fell off the seat.
Yeah.
Because there was no planning. It was just to wake up one morning, it felt like the right thing to do. So after 5 days of rain, you thought,
yeah, I could be in a house.
It's time to fucking leave.
Yeah.
Was that a sad time to like?
Yeah, definitely.
Were there other people still?
Yeah.
Were there people coming and going? Like someone had come and live for a month and then go, and
all the time. Yeah.
Someone would stay, and was there people that had come and you think, oh, well, did you just fuck off because you're an idiot?
No. It's a pretty inclusive environment, and there's a campsite called the Pines, which is just very communal. There's lots of people turn up for weekend, but then there's also lots of long-termers as well, like I was. And there's
were you paying for this campsite? Like,
it's $5 a night.
Oh, okay. So you obviously didn't pay for that every night if you could get away with not paying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the ranger would come around and think, say, I'm just staying for one night. And he's thinking, looking around your camp, fucking, I don't think so.
There was an honesty box.
Yep.
And some days we were more honest than others. But, yeah, overall I think the contribution that climbers make, there's a lot of stewardship of the climbing trails and maintenance and all of that kind of stuff. Like disrespectful behaviour is really not tolerated and gets called out very quickly by the community.
Did you ever have any near experiences where you thought, fuck, this is it? That could have killed me?
Yeah.
Like plenty of times that happened? Was it?
Well, not plenty, but there were definitely a couple and then a really bad fall that a friend took that we thought, oh, that's something bad has to have happened.
And they were all right?
They were fine, shaken up and bruised, but nothing broken.
What can you go in a bit more detail on that one?
Yeah, we were climbing close to the campsite and like late in the afternoon winding up, friend thought, I'll jump on this climb and give it a go. And it was probably a bit outside of the limit
of the person's experience.
ability.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think she just panicked a bit too far above the last piece of gear. So the length of rope past the last piece of gear is a distance that you'll fall.
Yep.
Plus then whatever slack's in the rope and then the rope stretch as well. And there was a bit of a ledge underneath her, and so we were all yelling, don't let go, like you have to down climb at this point.
Because of where you knew it was hooked on.
Yeah, that was going to be too long and she was going to deck or hit the deck, And, she ended up falling off and then was silent afterwards.
So you couldn't see her from below? So we couldn't
see her from below. We were yelling.
Yep.
And, she was silent. But then finally there was a feeble, I'm okay. Huge sigh of relief. Yeah.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
And then her leg fell off the side.
No,
you thought, that's fucking not hanging the way it should.
No.
Did someone climb up to where she was?
No, we managed to lower her off.
Oh, okay, because she was all connected.
Yep. Yeah, all connected.
And no injuries when she came down?
No, I think.
Bruised ego. Did she start climbing again?
No.
No.
I think she had a week off.
Yep,
needed some time.
Did you see anyone there actually have a bad accident with severe injuries or anything?
I was fortunate enough not to see anything, although there were a few occasions where you'd see the ambulance turn up and then a string of volunteers and headlamps peeling down.
Yeah, got someone
carrying someone out. A couple of times the helicopter came and there was a fatality at one point as well, sadly.
And look, given how many people climb and do that kind of thing in the Blue Mountains where I live, and there's not that many people that get
it is a relatively safe activity. Most of the accidents come about from decision-making under stress that prompts you to make probably a less safe decision than you would otherwise, and we've all done it.
Yeah, so whether it be climbing, driving a car, motorbike, whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. So, there's always that healthy respect for it and the knowledge that, that could be me if I stuff up or just get unlucky.
Yep. So you moved, you had your 5 days of rain and you went back home?
Yep.
Was your mum and dad, did they know you were coming?
Yeah, I called them, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm coming, did you,
back.
Let's paint a picture of Elisa, was your hair long, turned into dreads?
I had a few dreadlocks.
Hairy legs, hairy armpits.
Yep.
Fucking living the natural life.
Yeah. Well, there was no shower, so
Did your mum? Had you seen your mum had you been home to visit while you were camping?
No, I didn't go back.
So it'd been a while since you'd seen your mum. What'd they say when you came back?
I think they were just relieved that I was back and happy, and everything was okay.
Yep, and that's when you went to do your other degree.
Yeah, more or less. It happened in the year after that. Yeah.
And after you got back from that, you went and worked in the shop.
Yeah. So it was kind of, my plan was just to earn some money for the winter and then move back into town, this time at Manarapolis. There's
back to the climbing area, but in the village sort of thing close by.
Yeah, there's a town called Nadamuk nearby.
Yeah. I've never ever heard of those places, hey?
Oh, it's populated solely by climbers and the publican, but a really, really, really lovely place.
Yep. How high are the climbs there? Did you ever get sick of doing the same climbs?
No.
Like you climbing the same mountain?
Yep.
And you never got sick of it?
No.
No?
Nah. It's just, there was so much to do.
Yep.
And every day you could go pick something different, or you go climb with a friend instead who was climbing something harder.
Yep.
And you could get on a warm-up nearby. Like, not every day was spent on the rock all day.
Yeah.
There'd be lots of different things to do.
Did you sleep in some days? You just stay in bed all day and stick your head out at midday and think, fuck, I'm going back to the sleeping bag?
Pretty much, yeah. Like if the climbing conditions weren't ideal, you weren't there for the weekend, so you could just go, oh, well, I'll climb when they get better, instead of the weekend trips where you go, no, we'll make the most of whatever.
So did you read books or anything like that? Or
I must have had something. We had a hacky sack that we made.
Fucking hacky sack. You didn't even buy a hacky sack, you made one?
Yeah, out of fireproof material so we could dunk it in metho and set it on fire,
It wasn't asbestos, was it?
Could have been.
Hacky sacking around with asbestos cloth or something.
Could have been, and we set it on fire. So, it was cool. Yeah. And then there's a lot of people who have some really cool skills in slacklining as well.
You know what? That was the next thing I was going to say. I bet she's had a fucking slack line too.
We had a slack line. Yep. We had lots of slack lines, and then it escalated to people far more talented than myself, stringing it up between the cliffs and walking out over open space.
Because that you see that. So you were any good in the slack line? Could you walk it?
Yeah, if it was like 30 centimetres
off the ground. But you could balance on it and sort of bounce up and down a bit.
I couldn't bounce up and down, no. Yeah. It was getting from one side to the other was hard enough, yeah.
Yeah, because some of the things you see on, if you look up slackline on YouTube,
the Red Bull,
some of the stuff they're doing on these things is
incredibly
fucking crazy.
Athletic. Yeah. I was never any good. If I got from A to B, I was happy.
Yeah, I was never much good at balancing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So how long was that you were living there?
I think it was a total of about 4 months.
Oh, okay, yep. Yeah, cool. So then you decided to go to uni.
Yep.
And do your third degree.
My third degree,
and chalk up some more HECS debt.
Yep.
And you did that degree up in New South Wales?
Yeah, I actually moved from Adelaide to Bathurst to do that.
Yep. Yeah. And that was a pretty cool step. Packed up the car and...
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's just one of those impulsive decisions where you think, well, I guess I'm doing this. And this is the choice I've made, and now I've just got to go do it. And I knew no one. I'd organised the room that I moved into online, never met anyone there. Like, it was starting from scratch.
Did you find going back to uni was easy, like the study again?
Yeah, I think going back as a mature age student was a little bit easier because of the life experience, and you kind of understood a little bit more what the lecturers wanted from you.
Yep.
And you were able to have a little bit more of a relationship with the lecturers, where it was more so not colleague, but it wasn't teacher-student.
Yeah, because you're a bit older.
Because you're a bit older and you kind of get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really good. Ended up making a bunch of really close friends, some of whom I am still
pretty good friends with
today. Yeah.
Yep, cool. So hang on, just press pause for a second. All right, we're recording again. I had to stop for a toilet break, which I always have to do during these interviews. So you've moved up to Bathurst, you finished your degree, you're working for the Secret Society. What's happening? What's Elisa up to these days?
These days, I have a close group of friends who I spend a lot of time with. I've picked up a lot of yoga. I've got myself a dog.
What sort of dog is it?
She is a cattle cross.
Keeps you busy?
Very busy, yeah. So we would walk upwards of an hour every day.
And then it still wants to walk for another hour.
Yeah, she does, yeah. So there's lots of other...
Did you send her away to get trained properly?
No, I did it all myself. Yeah. My dog walker actually said this morning that she's one of the best dogs that she
So you have a dog,
walks.
when you're not home, the dog walker walks it?
Yeah.
How much do they charge?
23 for half an hour.
Well, maybe I might take up dog walking.
Yeah.
It's been like picking up shit.
Yeah, that's part of it.
And you know what? Look, a lot of people now, people probably going to send me emails complaining, but when I'm walking my dog, if it takes a shit, I actually do the pretend pickup. I actually put my fucking hands in a plastic bag and I'll pretend to pick the shit up and put the plastic bag back in my pocket and walk on.
Well, that's how they know that you haven't done it, because you're putting the bag in your pocket.
Yeah, but I sort of like make it look like I tie it up.
But no one who picks up their dog's poo will put it back in their pocket.
Yeah, but I don't know. So I'm a little bit against picking up dog shit.
I don't love it, but it's better than leaving it there.
I don't know.
It stinks. I hate it.
I always have a bit of a fucking giggle when I'm picking up the grass beside the dog shit.
You're just a dag.
Now we have all these dirty emails. You fucking disgust me. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I mean, your dog is also 3 kilos, so...
It does a few shits. I did a shit the other day and it was hanging out of its bum. Both Kez and I are looking at it, and we were looking across the yard, and it's sitting there like a kangaroo going, yeah, and it's fucking the little turds hanging off its bum. I said to Kez, I hope that fucking drops off, because I'm not doing anything with that. And then it walked away a bit, and it's like walking funny because it's still hanging out. It's obviously eating some hair or something, so it's hanging onto the turd, and it's fucking waddling up the grass. And then it stopped again and shaped up. You could see its face going,
it's having a bad time.
Then it popped out. It's like, yes.
Good. Yeah, no rescue mission required.
It shits in here all the time too. If it's raining.
Inside.
It shits in here.
Oh, no. Mine will go on the concrete right outside the door.
Yeah, see, that's all right. At least you can hose that off.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it shits in here when it's raining.
No, I think the last accident we had inside, she was still a puppy.
Oh, that's not too bad then.
Yeah.
Does she sleep on your bed?
She would if she had a choice, but neither of us sleep particularly well.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
So she sleeps in your room?
She's in the room, but she's in a crate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crate trained.
Yep.
Yeah. Was that tough? Crate trained dog? Do you reckon that's cruel? Crate training? Well, I'm not saying that to because I know a lot of people put their dogs in crates at night.
Yeah.
But is that like I don't know. I feel a bit bad for the dog.
Well, I mean, overnight I don't have a problem with it, and I think it's really specific to the kind of dog that you've got. She's a working breed, but she's the laziest working dog that you'll ever meet. And I think if you do have a working dog who's out with you, 8 to 10 hours actually using their brain and running around, being in the crate in between is the marker for them to go, right, you're off duty. You can. Oh, yeah, I suppose.
Down. Yeah, I guess that's police dogs, they live
exactly
in pens, I suppose. They don't have free range.
Same theory. Yeah, very much the on duty, off duty kind of thing. So for overnight, it stops her from getting into mischief.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. That makes sense.
She likes to be in the same room. I like her in the same room as well.
Yep.
It's nice companionship, but if she slept on the bed, then neither of us would get a very good night of sleep.
I don't like my dog's got free rein coming in and outside, which is why it shits in here when it's raining.
Yeah.
It'll come in from outside to take a shit and go back outside. And it was sleeping in our bed, but I don't like it. I don't particularly like it sleeping on the bed.
Yeah.
But I've sort of given up because I go in there sometimes and it's like on the pillows, on my fucking pillows, which really shit me. And it's just looking at me. I was thinking, oh, fuck, what's the point?
I mean, it's nice
Why
to have
try,
a nap.
mate? Why try?
Yeah, I will go for an afternoon nap or sleeping around work.
Yeah.
We'll end up napping with her on the bed and I don't have an issue with that. But overnight, and she's happy too. I tell her, like, time for bed and she'll go.
And then what happens when you're not there?
She sleeps on the couch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she be at your place now?
Yep.
And tonight, are you going back home tonight?
Yeah. I'll be back there tonight.
Yeah, so she get excited when you come in?
Yeah.
Yeah, dogs are all right. You know what I don't like about dogs is they stink. And you touch, you touch dogs and they get that greasy feel.
Not my dog.
Oh, fucking can't stand that feeling of dogs, eh?
I think it depends on what you feed them.
Maybe I need to feed my dog something a bit better.
Mine's on the expensive stuff.
What stuff are you using?
Black Hawk.
Where does that get delivered?
Nah, Pet Barn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that like dry food or wet food?
It's dry food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but then, I mean, she loves carrots, so she gets carrots.
Yeah.
I dropped some frozen blueberries out of the freezer this morning. She hoovered those up.
Can they eat them?
Yep.
Because grapes can't.
Grapes
dogs,
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's been to the vet a couple of
Oh,
times.
because she hoovered a grape up. Yeah, my stupid dog would bloody eat a grape too if you dropped it on the floor.
Yeah.
It eats raw potato. I don't know if that's bad for dogs. So if I'm cutting like potato up and a bit falls off, fuck, it's jumping on the.
I think if it's got pancreatitis, you shouldn't be feeding it potato.
I don't feed it on purpose, but if a bit falls
like
off.
a little bit, yeah. And I know they say with garlic and onion and all of that kind of stuff as well, they shouldn't be having it. But if a bit falls and she eats it,
Yes, I thought garlic was all right for animals.
No, not for dogs. But it's the quantity. So a tiny bit of onion for your dog is
probably worse.
Completely different to a tiny bit of onion to my dog.
Yeah.
30 kilos.
Yeah. But anyway, we're not here to talk about dogs. So you've got your own house.
Yep.
What's the plans for your future, you reckon?
Oh,
Where are you going in life, Elisa?
I'm at a point where I've ticked off a lot of really big life milestones. And so I'm just enjoying coasting.
You're just cruising now?
For a little bit. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not really sure what's next.
Got any mortgage stress from all the interest rates coming up?
Yeah.
As in everybody has?
Yeah. And I roll off my fixed rate in February.
Oh, okay. So it's going to go up a bit?
Got that in the back of my mind, yeah.
It's going up like fucking ridiculously.
I'm on 1.96% now. Oh. If that puts that into any context.
Oh, fuck. So you might get
Help.
Well, I don't make any money on the podcast, so if anyone wants to send me some money, I'll make sure that Elisa gets it, all right? Well, 10% anyway.
No, there is a strategic plan.
We should start a GoFundMe page. And I've often thought, just put a GoFundMe page on there and just put a picture of yourself and say, I'm being completely fucking honest. My name's Elisa. My fucking mortgage is through the roof. Give me $20. Now, if 2,000 people give you $20, you could fucking very well pay your house off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I could, but what makes me stand out from any of the
that's it.
100,000 other people?
I know, but see, the thing is, I would look at that on GoFundMe and think that's fucking funny. I'll probably give you $50. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe I should just put one up.
Because,
see what happens.
look, sometimes a GoFundMe will come up and I'll read it. It's a sad story. I think, oh, fuck, I'll give $20 or $50 or something. Sometimes I think I'll go back to it and give $50, but then forget about it.
Yeah.
I think if I saw that, I'd think, yeah, that's a piss take that I like. He's $50. So,
no, I mean, like, I love free money, but I think there are plenty of people who make more use of it than myself. So I'm, despite complaining, in a really fortunate position.
Yeah. So you're cruising through life now.
Yep.
Any plans for travel in the future?
Yeah, most of it will be local travel for events. There's a 60th I'm planning on getting to back in Adelaide next year, and a wedding for a friend at the end of the year.
So no overseas travel coming up?
I'd like to, but I just want to see where the dust falls on the mortgage and then make some plans.
Yeah. And so just go real quick back to your climbing, because I forgot to ask you, have you ever camped on the side of a cliff on one of those things?
No, I was never brave enough to spend the night on a portal edge.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'd like to do that, eh?
Yeah.
Did people stay at that place?
It wasn't really necessary. I did it as a trial, so they went and camped out just as a setup because they were planning on going overseas with it to walls
instead
where
of going
it was
up
necessary.
Like 500 metres, just go up 20 metres, spend a couple of nights, get used to setting it up and all that kind of
I mean,
stuff.
the highest climb would have 200 metres or less, so you'd easily get it done in a day. But for walls like El Capitan in Yosemite, then do you reckon you have any desire to go and do that? Not anymore.
Really.
It's sort of like the hiking aspect, yes. And it's been at least 4 years since I've really regularly climbed.
Yeah.
And I miss it, but, I think they just got to a point where the risk benefit for me ended up feeling too on the side of risky. So I've just been hiking a lot instead. Still
doing the bouldering?
No, and there's not so much opportunity to do that.
I remember you told me you and your friends made like the boulder thing for your yard. I fucking laughed and look, I shouldn't laugh at it. I just thought it was funny that adults would like doing what kids do in the playground.
Yeah. And like in any climbing share house, that's exactly what you'd build. Yeah, if there was space for a bouldering wall in the garage.
Yeah.
Then
I think it's fucking weird as shit. You're not even going off the ground, mate. It's on the Olympics. Fucking bouldering.
Yeah.
Like you're only 2 foot off the ground. Just walk, for fuck's sake.
Oh, you can still hurt yourself pretty badly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all a bit weird for me. Not that I'm saying it's what makes the world go round, but I thought when you told me that you built this fucking bouldering thing with your friends in the backyard, I shouldn't have laughed, but I did.
Of course you
did.
Yeah. But it's fun. No, it's fine. Just something to pass time with, and there's a real joy in being able to accomplish things that you didn't think were possible or 2-3 weeks ago weren't possible.
Yeah, I can sort of see that.
But it's also meaningless because you're like, I got to the top.
Yeah.
And now
ring the bell. Ring the bell. Ding, ding. Come back down again.
Yeah.
So you're mainly bushwalking now, not as climbing, abseiling or anything like
that?
No. Canyoning?
Did a few canyons while I was living in the mountains.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just wet hiking at the end of the day. Canyon.
It's pretty fucking.
The walk-in is shit.
I can hear all these canyoners going, whoa, what the fucking wet.
And on the way out, you're wet. You're still in your wetsuit.
It's cold.
Chafins, bits rubbing, and everything's wet, so it's heavy on the way back uphill. So I kind of didn't get into it the same way. I appreciate the beauty of the canyons. They're absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
But
so I'm happy to look at it. I'm happy to look at them in a picture and go, that was good. I can have more
effort that goes into them was not for me.
Cool. Well, we're coming up to the end of the show. Always ask people what advice you giving people, because I did get you on mainly to talk about your living in the tent, your, shall we call it, the hairy days.
Sure.
No, that's not really something you should ask people. Like, did you shave your armpits?
No.
Anyway, it's pretty.
Why would I bother?
So when you went into town, did people just think they're fucking climbers from?
Yeah.
I can't get over the fact that you're sucking food out of bins, mate. But there's a lot of waste going in bins.
So much waste, and it was all good. We never got sick.
Yeah, so you never had a gastro or anything like that?
No, never from the food we ate, no.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. So, give us some advice, Lisa. What would you go back and tell your younger self there in high school, the eye patch?
I just don't think that anyone cares as much about your life as you do. Like, you can think everybody is judging you for whatever moves you choose to make in life, but no one's thinking that hard about it because they're all concerned with themselves. So when it comes to other people's opinions, you can take it or leave it. But I think it's just one of the things getting a little bit older as well. It's been a lot easier to walk away from people who disagree or who don't like what you're doing. You go, okay, well, that's just you. That's nice.
It's so
freedom, though.
It's so true. But because when you're younger, you think, oh, what do they think of me? You know what? They're not thinking of you.
No.
Yeah, you know what does that teacher think of me when they go home at night? They're not.
No, all my friends who thought, that one thing that I said that one time, they don't remember.
Yeah, and they're not thinking about it.
No, and you could not have paid me any amount of money to believe that. Internalize it as a younger person. And so I think there's definitely a lot of freedom in that now. Being able to go, oh, well, you don't like me. Okay.
Well, that's life, isn't it?
Okay.
And everyone you meet in life is not going to like you.
No, and you don't internalize it as this, oh, maybe I could be better. Maybe I should be doing this. What if I say or act differently?
Yeah.
It just is, and that's okay.
Yeah. Did you ever bling up your eye patch with Diamantes?
No, that wasn't really.
You weren't that sort of girl?
No.
Young girl?
The early 90s. So.
Yeah, it wasn't really done.
No.
Do they still do that, the eye patches? Because you don't see kids walking around they have other treatment now, I suppose.
I don't know. I presume that it's progressed.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess I wouldn't be surprised to see a patch and go, oh, yeah, that's the same thing. Got to do it. I'm grateful for the vision that I've got.
Yeah. All right, Elisa, thanks for coming on the show.
No worries. It's been a pleasure.
You've had an interesting life. Like I said, I've met a lot of people who are really, really smart people, have chosen to walk away from their sort of academic world. And I know a few people in the career I'm in who are really, really smart.
Way too smart for this job.
But have chosen to walk away from that smarts for their life.
Yeah.
And I know it takes a lot of people, it takes all sorts of people in the world, and you need people who are career-minded, that. But I've always been pretty much, I've got a lot of respect for people that go, you know what, I could be doing that, but I fucking choose life. I choose doing what I want to do over what other people expect you to do.
Yeah.
And that's why I like the whole idea that you did all these degrees and that, and you went and lived overseas and fucking lived in a tent.
Lived out of a tent.
For a couple of months and ate food out of a bin.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool.
It was great. It was a really formative part of my life.
Yeah. Have you got many photos from that time, or you didn't have a camera at the time?
There's a few, yeah. Around.
Well, can I have a look at a couple of them?
Of course you can.
All right, send them to me. But anything else you want to say before we go? That's it. Well, thanks for coming, Elisa.
No worries.
Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to another episode of East Coast Averages. Lisa was one of those people who've been on the show and you ask them to come on and they say, oh, no one's going to like my story. I'm fucking boring. Now, I recorded that show on the 11th of November last year and I just edited it today, 2nd of February 2025. And I actually really enjoyed listening to it. So there you go, Lisa. I reckon people are going to really enjoy hearing that episode. And like I said, everyone that's come on this show, they say, oh, fucking nobody wants to hear my story. But you know what? Everyone's got a story to tell. And if you've got a story to tell, fucking send me an email. info@eastcoastaverages.com. Look at my website, eastcoastaverages.com. Press like and subscribe. Share it across your social medias. Get it out there. Thanks for listening. Speak to you next week.